In old times, whenever people faced hardship, they had a saying, "Let's go to Al-Ahsa." This historic oasis in eastern Saudi Arabia was a lifeline, famous for two bustling markets, one for dates and one for camels. The system was simple, but brilliant. People would bring their camels to the Al-Ahsa market, trade them for a bounty of dates, and then take those dates back home to feed their families and communities who raised livestock all around the region. It was a cycle of survival and prosperity. So, one day, two men from the Ru'al-Allah branch of the Al-Ahsa tribe decided to do just that. They said, "Let's go to Al-Ahsa. It's the date harvest season, so dates will be plentiful and camels will be cheap." They pooled their money, each contributing 25, for a total of 50 French rials, and began their long journey from the north. On their way, one suggested, "As we travel, let's stop for some coffee and dinner at one of the Bedouin tents we pass." Soon enough, they came across a small settlement of a few black tents. They chose one and were greeted by an old, crippled woman sitting alone inside. She welcomed them with a huge heart, saying, "Welcome, welcome." The men felt a pang of sympathy, seeing her struggle to move. They didn't want to be a burden. But she insisted, bringing out coffee pots and dishes. "Light your fire and make your coffee," she said with a warm smile. "Dinner will be here soon." One of the travelers whispered to his friend, "What do you think? There are other tents here. Maybe we should go to another one. I feel bad troubling this poor woman." His friend agreed, but as they got up to leave, the old woman called out, "Don't go. Don't go, my sons." They tried to explain, "Auntie, you've done more than enough. May God bless you. We just want to find some men to chat with and hear the local news." Respectfully, they moved to a nearby tent where they saw a group of men gathered. As they entered, a young man's eyes lit up with recognition. "Wait a moment," he said. "Did you just come from that tent over there?" They nodded. "Yes, but we only found a woman there and didn't want to disturb her." The young man's face broke into a wide grin. "That's my mother. You are most welcome here. But you must come back with me. You can't just leave her tent after she welcomed you." The young man was true to his word. He led them back, quickly lit a fire, prepared fresh coffee, and to their surprise, slaughtered a sheep to host them with incredible generosity. It turned out this young man and his friends were gathered for a very important and stressful reason. They were planning to go and ask for his cousin's hand in marriage, but her father had already refused. His friends had come from all over to support him and try to convince the father one more time. But with the arrival of these two strangers, the young man put all his worries aside. His only focus was on honoring his guests. He treated them like long-lost family, completely unaware that their unexpected visit was about to change his life forever. Later that evening, the young man's friends approached the two travelers with an idea. "We were about to go to a man's tent to ask for his daughter's hand for our cousin," they explained. "Why don't you come with us? If he sees that we have honorable men from another tribe interceding with us, he might be moved and finally agree." The travelers, touched by the hospitality they'd received, readily agreed to help. So, the group went to the tent of the girl's father. They greeted him, and though he was polite, his hesitation was clear. He explained that his daughter was his only child, the only one he had to help him manage his livestock. The young man's supporters made their case again. "We've come once, twice, and now a third time to ask for your daughter's hand for our cousin. And this time, we've brought two noble men from another tribe to speak on his behalf." The two travelers then spoke from the heart. "By God," one of them said, "this young man honored us greatly. He is a good man from a good family." Their words seemed to have an effect. The old father fell silent, thinking for a long 3 or 4 minutes. Finally, he looked up and said, "I agree on one condition." Everyone held their breath. "What is it?" they asked. The father replied, 50 French pounds. Right now, a wave of silence fell over the tent. Bedouins rarely carried cash, their wealth was in their livestock. The groom's supporters looked at each other, helpless. But then, one of the travelers reached into his pouch, pulled out his 25 rials, his entire savings for the camel market, and placed it on the ground. Without a word, his companion did the same. Adding his 25, "Here is the 50, they announced. It turned out the old man was only testing their resolve. He never intended to sell his daughter. But seeing this incredible gesture, he was so moved that he agreed on the spot and married his daughter to the young man right then and there. And just like that, the two travelers, who had only stopped for coffee, became the heroes of a love story. After the celebration feast, the newly married groom insisted, "You must stay with me tonight." They agreed, but late that night, they decided their work was done. "Our friend is married, our purpose is fulfilled. Let's head back to our lands," they whispered to each other, and quietly slipped away. At dawn, the groom awoke to find his honored guests gone. He immediately jumped on his camel and followed their tracks across the desert. He rode all day, finally catching up to them near sunset as they rested at another camp. He walked into the camp and declared, "These two men are my guests. Please, excuse me, but they must come with me." The hosts, understanding the deep bond of hospitality, reply, "Of course, they are yours." He brought them back to his tent, his heart overflowing with gratitude. "By God," he told them, "I will never forget what you did for me. You were the reason for my marriage." He hosted them again with the highest honor and made a solemn promise. His first sons would be named after them, and he kept that promise. The two travelers eventually continued their journey north, while the groom began his new, happy life in Al-Ahsa. This beautiful Bedouin tale leaves us with three powerful lessons. First, generosity is never wasted. The old woman, the young man, and the two travelers all gave what they had, without expecting anything in return. In the end, this chain of kindness created a blessing far greater than any of them could have imagined. Second, when good people come together with pure intentions, miracles can happen. The travelers had no plan to play matchmaker, but their simple act of kindness became the key that unlocked someone else's happiness. And third, never forget those who do good to you. The young man's profound gratitude honoring his guests, searching for them, and even naming his children after them shows us the true meaning of loyalty and appreciation. It's a beautiful reminder that kindness always finds its way back. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others. See you in the next video.